is the image of the Huxtables from the 90s television show, a horrible example for Black people to follow. This came with a link as well to a YouTube video. Kevin Carre has to bounce. Thanks, Kevin Carre, for coming through. I appreciate you as always. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Okay, so this video.
America,
we'll listen to this video and then we'll discuss it. This is our bonus video.
My name is Army Osei Frimpong. I come to you live every Thursday about this time. And today we're going to talk about why the Huxtables were trash parents and what that means. Now, if you don't know who the Huxtables are, there was Heathcliff and Claire Huxtable from the 80s and early 90s television show, The Cosby Show. And if you don't know who the Huxtables are, I don't really know. Maybe you can watch this. Maybe you get something out of it. I don't know. But if you don't know who the Huxtables are, maybe you just skip this video. Anyway, if you do know who the Huxtables are, you got to figure out what that meant for our generation. The Huxtables were the aspirational Black family for aspirational Blacks, which is, since we don't have as much as we should, was a lot of Blacks in the 80s and 90s, including my mom. All right, so every Black who thought that they were more dignified than their position, who thought that like they could have been Heathcliff or Claire Huxtable, watched The Cosby Show for cues on how to be Claire or Heathcliff Huxtable. And this was a problem because the Huxtable kids were a mess, right? And you can judge parents by their kids. I'm one of those parents, and as I become more and more parent, I'm more and more comfortable judging parents by their kids. You judge a tree by its fruit. I judge parents by their kids. There's no way you can be a good parent and have 5 mediocre kids. So we're going to go through the Huxtable kids, how they're mediocre and how their mediocrity is tied to the Huxtable parenting in a way that was non-obvious, and then how that kind of metastasized into other shows. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because I'll be honest, if your kids are Carlton and Hillary, you can't feel that good about what you're doing as a parent. Like, I don't care all the excuses you have in the world. If you have to if your daughter's Hillary, that's a problem, right? And, I grew up in, teaching your little Black girl in LA to act like a little white girl who's mediocre, act like an obnoxious white girl isn't really, I don't think that's winning for Black life. Sure, they might win the lottery and end up being Meghan Markle, but most of them are just kind of confused, because I grew up in LA at the time with a lot of Black girls who thought they were Hillary Banks, and it didn't work out for them. They're just now confused and divorced, right? So I'm going to talk mostly about why the Huxtables were bad parenting, how that was reflected in their kids, and then we'll talk about some other shows. Family Matters, actually, the Winslows were actually like trying to do a thing, but the rest of them, we'll get into it. For now, let me hit the beat.
To the beat, y'all.
Yeah. Sound good to me. Never change the ways for the world or the government. If I was the president, then I would state facts. You leave it up to me, I paint the White House black and I'm featuring the front.
So it's not obvious that the Huxtables were bad parents, but let's go through the kids. We got Sandra, the oldest. She made it through medical school. We have no idea why, but she made it through medical school, marrying a guy that did not exactly have any of the values of their parents, of the parents, and who needed some work himself, and then ended up like quitting becoming a doctor, and they both ran a wilderness store instead, which means she made it through all the way through medical school without actually thinking for herself very well. She made it all the way through medical school without actually thinking for herself. And she only found herself at the end when she quit the wilderness store business and went back to being a doctor, which means that we don't know the quality of parenting that got her through medical school. We do know the quality. When she got there, she didn't have enough direction to actually know what she wanted to be. And, Heathcliff and Claire had all of the advantages. They had grandparents on both sides. Heathcliff was a doctor, Claire was a lawyer, and still Sandra was aimless, going on autopilot, couldn't think for herself, and married, kind of a guy, and they had problems because he was a chauvinist. Like, you find one black guy and he turns out he was a chauvinist, and then they ended up with a wilderness store. Anyway, you got a black people with no direction. So you got a doctor, but like a doctor who was on autopilot. Now, I do have a story about this. That was a white family, because white families do create doctors by accident, right? So I got one of my friends, I was working with him at the bookstore. He got halfway through medical school before he realized he didn't like blood or people, and then got out and quit medical school because he realized he doesn't like blood or people. Right. So, and then in his 40s, he wanted to go back because he realized he does like money. But that was the quality of parenting on autopilot that was done. He made it all the way through to his 40s, just kind of doing what he was told. And then when he finally had an idea for himself, he realized he didn't like blood or people and quit medical school in his mid-20s. Right. So that's how you raise kids, without real directions, with superficial direction. And I think that's bad parenting, right? So that's Sandra. And we don't know, because when the show starts, she's already a doctor. She's already through medical school, and she's about to finish medical school. So that's dicey. I don't think Cosby knew how to raise a doctor with any sort of purpose, right? Because there needs to be a sort of intentionality, a quality of intentionality that the Cosbys never had with their kids. Then you have Denise, who was such a mess. She was a mess throughout her whole childhood. They weren't competent in redressing her mess. They didn't take it seriously, but she was a mess. She did have one. I remember she brought home one boyfriend who I thought was actually pretty cool. He had his mismatched socks, and he gave Claire the business. He was a lefty and a radical, but they ended up clowning him and making fun of him and running off. But I actually thought he was pretty cool. But Denise was a mess and ended up dropping out of Hillman, but then having to marry a military guy in order to get some sort of structure in her life because her parents were so bad. Denise had to, if your daughter has to marry a military guy to get some structure in her life because your parenting is so bad, she's marrying him because she has daddy issues because you were a bad parent. And then she had to marry an old man because they were bad parents. Like, if you're a good parent, you don't raise Denise. If you have that much money and that much clout, you do not raise Denise. You raise someone with purpose, right? So Denise, product of bad parenting. And like that, and I think and anyone who doesn't see that is, I think, distorted, right? So then you have Sandra, rudderless, completely a mess, and parents are supposed to give rudders. You're supposed to have good black parents. Chokwe Lumumba, the former mayor of Jackson, now his son is the mayor of Jackson. Jackson has its problem right now, but his son has a sense of who he is because he was raised by a good father, right? You can say whatever you want about LeVar Ball, but I don't know if you can call that. I think I'll take LeVar Ball as a dad over Heathcliff Huxtable. He kept his eye on his boys and got all 3 of his boys, even Leangelo, who, not particularly gifted basketball player, to the NBA. So LeVar Ball, good dad. Malavia Washington. So Huxtables, both Huxtables, they had all these advantages, still screwed up parenting. They created mediocre white kids and then sold that as good parenting to America, which includes black and white America, which is a problem. Because I think a lot of people who tried to emulate the Huxtables did poorly by their kids. They should have been raising radicals, but instead they tried to raise bougie white kids, and then that ends up distorted, right? So then you have Theo. Theo was 13 or 14 years old before they realized he has dyslexia. A doctor and a lawyer were so checked out of their kid's life that He made it to 14 years old before they realized he has dyslexia. That means you didn't teach him how to read. You let your school do the work for you. Like all of the work, like my kids are 9, 7, and 5, and I pretty much know all of their intellectual habits. That's if you're a Black parent, you need to know the intellectual habits of your kid. You can't just assume, well, that's too bad. No, like they.
All right, I just wanted to hear up until a little bit of the Theo stuff. I will say the guy here strikes me a little bit idiotic. If there was a failing of the Cosby Show, in my humble opinion, it's been a while since I've watched it. The failing was that the premise was this upper middle class, or this middle class, upper middle class, I would say, family living in this kind of upper class area in Brooklyn, and then trying to fit the ordinary comedy trope stories in, because that stuff that this guy is talking about, like Theo, it's not uncommon for the son in one of these types of shows to be given that storyline of being autistic, right? But the people didn't check the backdrop. And the backdrop was, well, this should be a very affluent family who should pick up on things like that from early, who shouldn't be having the public schools or the private schools even, solely in charge of teaching their children. But I think that was the failing of the show runners and stuff and writers. Let's welcome in our friend Azuliism tonight. Azuli, what say you to this?
Well, I don't think the Cosby Show was a failure. If you look at the kids, as you see, you could raise the best. You could give your kids the best opportunity, and some of them don't come out the way you want them to come out. That's number one. Number two, the oldest one became a doctor, right? She married a doctor. Two, Denise was probably the artsy person of the family. She became she married she got married, so that's a success on its own. Theo became a teacher. So I don't understand what this guy is talking about. Like it was a failure for Black, unless he was saying that, unless he wants to say that they were not raised in a pro-Black, like with direction to be about Black people being like a pro-Black person, a pro-Black conscious, or like a
no, he wasn't even talking about that. He was just talking about. He wasn't talking about that. He was just talking about.
He gets to that point where he says he talks about Hillary from the Fresh Prince, and because I watched the whole thing.
Oh,
Hillary
later in the video, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
With Carlton, he says that they're not gonna do anything for Black people or whatever. But he also talked about Ketanji Jackson. What did she do for Black people? So the funny thing about this dude, he's talking this. I went to all his other videos. This guy got biracial kids. So I don't know what he's talking about. So I disagree 100% with what he said, that the Cosby, like you, I agree with what you said. Some of the stuff there that they found out Theo was dyslexic when he was 14, but I think they said it was later on before he went to college or whatever. At the end of the day, it's comedy. Which family in Hollywood sitcom was a great, like, if we could find all of that in different sitcoms that deal with white families. So I think this guy is reaching. He's looking for something to talk about. He looks retarded anyway. So I just don't get how he said the Cosby was a. But even in the Cosby, they implemented a lot of civil rights stuff, jazz, a lot of the culture. So I don't understand what he's talking about.
Because even in the one with Urkel, Family Matters, I believe the kid Eddie had dyslexia. Like it's a common thing you could find in Silver. What was that show called? Silver Spoons. Like that's a common trope in these shows. It's just that, do you expect it from a affluent family living in Brooklyn, right? Do you expect those things to play out like that?
But did you know that they say the original, what the family was supposed to be, Bill Cosby was supposed to be like a taxi driver and everything, and That was his original view of where the show should go. This whole lawyer shit, it wasn't. So they say. So they say. So I mean, but if he wants to say that, then a lot of the Cosby kids went to what's that other show, that A Different World, where they were
Yeah.
like about, like, what is he talking about? I think this guy is reaching and stuff like that. He's looking for because if he says Katanji Jackson, did you hear the part about Katanji Jackson where he spoke about her?
No.
Like he said that like I don't understand where he's coming from. So I don't know, man.
By the way, this video, if you want to watch the whole thing, you could just go on the Discord. Well, it's called The Huxtables Were Awful Parents. But again, you could go on the Discord and find it easy. Trigger Happy 262 says, I'm being stereotypical, but it ain't surprising that he was a white woman from his look. Observing immigrants. What say you to all of what you heard so far?
I just think it's interesting that a lot of people condemn the Cosby Show for being an unrealistic representation of Black people. That's what I've been hearing all the time. Now you're hearing, well, the kids were flawed, so now it's not, the show doesn't make any sense. Um, yes, he made valid points on personalities in terms of the kids, but in terms like for the dyslexia thing, a lot of shows, in my opinion, will bring a topic up if the topic is buzzing in society. So Theo might have conveniently gotten dyslexia at 14 because scientists in the real world had recently discovered dyslexia. I don't know. I mean, that was what, the 80s or the 90s. So that might be why it was written into the story at that time. I'm just guessing. But in terms of were there horrible example for Black people to follow? Not really, because we are complaining about all the other negative images of gang violence and all that stuff. So if we have a proper family with faulty kids, that's a little bit of reality. I mean, it is what it is.
All right. All right. Tanzan, what say you?
Well, I can't speak too much about the Cosby because I've never watched an episode, but from what I heard about it, it was a portrayal of a wholesome, aspirational Black family and the children. I don't know too much about the children, and so I can't really say one word or another whether they were failure or not. The one show that I am familiar with and that he mentioned was The Fresh Prince, which to us, that's why I asked about coming to America, because there's two ways that without direct contact with each other, the only way for us to have any sort of communication is through the media, for better or usually for worse. But for us, the Fresh Prince was the epitome of Black success. That's how we viewed Black American culture. But the funny thing is, it turns out that the actually Fresh Prince was based on the story of Benny Medina, the guy who's on the front, and he was this. I think he was from Puerto Rican or something, and he was adopted by a white family, a rich white family. But there was already enough sitcoms about that in the 70s with different strokes and all this stuff. So they decided to change it to a black. A black rich family instead of a white rich family, because I always wondered, like, even if Black people got like really, really rich, it would be something like a ridiculous thing to have a butler. Like, anyway, but that was just maybe me. But yeah, so it was originally based on a white family, and then they adopted, a child. So with that one, he also mentioned, that they grew up to be spoiled and so on, which I do agree with, to some extent. But at the same time, I thought, they were successful, they were still taken care of, and they were rich and so on. But I understand what he was saying, that the shows just gave them success and money, but it didn't really give them, values, and it didn't teach them how to survive. That to us was also a way of, sorry?
You cut off for a second.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, so I think the way it didn't prepare them for, I will agree with him. Someone said was that it didn't prepare them to be, black in the outside world. It just showed them, it's mostly protected them from, from the reality. Fresh Prince, I don't know about the Cosby Show, but Fresh Prince, I think, he protected them from the reality of life, and didn't really show them. And it was actually Fresh Will Smith who'd show them the other side of life. So that's what I got from it. Whether success or not, yeah. But the other point I agree with him is that yes, one should judge to some extent, parents on their children. If your children turn out to be a certain way, sometimes you have power over it and sometimes you don't. But it's still the responsibility of parents to, how their children turn out. you know but like I said, I don't know how much parents have control over their children, because you can raise them up a certain way and then they go out into the world and they turn out a different way. So yeah.
Buana?
For me, I think that it's very unfair to zip down your pants and take a shit on what this man has created. I think that it was a successful family. I think that successful black families do exist, not only in America but all over the world. I think that children have agency within and of themselves. They have a right to decide whatever their fate may be in this life. It's nothing wrong with them choosing a career or position that is outside of what we perceive to be social climates, doctors, lawyers, etc., etc., etc. What's wrong with a person who owns a survivalist store? What's wrong with a person who gets married to a man who is a military man? He doesn't have. They don't necessarily. Your children don't necessarily have to choose the career path of the parents. I think this is very unfair. And also, let me also say this. I think that human beings, we evolve. We have openings at different stages of our life. We don't. Some people expect that everyone should have these intellectual openings at the same time. And that's not necessarily true. Some people have openings, intellectual openings at different times in terms of our the way we view the world and how we operate through the world. It's not to say that she may be, his daughters may decide to take up a so-called a matrix career position later on in life. I think that it's very critical to say, well, these people are failures because they choose a career path or a situation that's different from their parents. Because you say, well, these people are lost because they open a hardware store. Who says that? They may be happy in their venture and doing in terms of what they want to do. Who's this clown to determine that he's a happiness police. He dictates what in terms of what is happiness for an individual, and I don't think that he should hold that particular position. You don't have a right to do that. You know what I mean? If I'm a lawyer or a doctor and my children decide to open up a survivalist store and they are happy in what they are doing, who am I to determine that these people are lost? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. If they are happy in doing the things that they are doing, let them do that. They may be successful at. In fact, they may make more. They may make more money than me because they could open 1,000 of them. So where am I gonna be then? To say that these people are not successful or these people are not happy? Come on, man. He is not the police to determine what it determines what is happiness, what determines what is successful, what determines what is to be good for an individual to do. Just because I don't take up the career path of my father or my mother. Come on, man. Come on. I think that he is very critical, and I don't think that he has the position to do that. He is not in a position to do that. I really don't feel so. I think that he's a little bit harsh, and you don't know what your children are gonna be. But what you can beat on them because they don't decide to take the career path of a professor like you? Come on, man, get out of here. Get out of here. It's they have their own agency. You know, we want to guide our children to make good choices in life. We want to guide our children to become happy as possible. We want to guide our children to be able to take care and provide for themselves. But we don't determine what their career path is supposed to be or what their fate is supposed to be. I think that he's very critical, and he probably don't even have kids. Probably have a little snow bunny on the side. Who knows? But I don't know. I don't agree with him at all.
All
Well,
right. Anyone want to add any last words here?
yeah, more like an inquiry because well, it's not a contradiction. It's just another one. Remember, we had this discussion about whether parents are supposed to sort of manipulate the children into, guide them into life. But I'm hearing you saying that you're supposed to let your children decide what they want to do. So, how much responsibility do parents have for their children's decisions, so to speak? Because what he's saying is that you as a parent, you should be able to guide your children, and I thought that is what we had agreed on the last time.
I would guide my children not to be criminals. I would guide my children not to do wrong things or be immoral people. But if my children decide to be garbage men, if they are moral people who are making an honest wage or honest living and taking care of their families, I would not necessarily want that for them, but they have their own agency as well. They have the ability to think for themselves as well. I want my children to be able to be independent thinkers of me. Because what if I die? What if I die and I can't guide their fate? Then how are they going to exist on this planet? You know what I mean? I want them to be capable individuals. I want them to be thinking individuals, but their individual choices at the end of the day, it won't be completely relying on me. What I would want for them, they may not necessarily choose to pursue. They may not choose to pursue. What am I gonna do? Beat them over the head and say, be a doctor, be a lawyer. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I would just want them to be good men and women in the society. I want them to be productive men and women in the society. I want them to be good with their good husbands and good wives and good fathers and good mothers as much as I could be. But their individual choices in terms of what they choose as a career to make money for themselves, that's the onus is really on them because I want them to exercise their own agency. Because at the end of the day, I would frustrate myself in my grave if they don't choose to take a career path that I don't want them to take. I don't agree with that, man. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that time.
Um, I would like to interject here because it's kind of like the opposite here. Um, when my daughter was asked where she wanted to do in college, she didn't know. And because she didn't know, her dad said, well, you're going to do the same thing I'm doing and go into computers. So that's what she's doing. She didn't know. He chose it for her. She has an affinity for art. So on weekends and in the summer, she worked doing art. And I explained to her, you know, you can do computers to live the life that you want, in the sense that art, you're not that good at it, in my opinion. So um, be able to make enough money to enjoy your hobby rather than try to make your hobby your earning capacity. You know what I'm saying? So um, in that case, I would disagree with you. My sons, they're a little bit younger, but again, they don't know. And I think too, because they're homeschooled, they weren't exposed to to other kids who had or the opportunity to hear about a bunch of other jobs. So, with my middle son, he does not um push himself academically. So a trade, and that's the same thing my mom did with my brother. He didn't do well academically. She pushed him into a trade. Now he owns his own construction company. He can do plumbing, electrical, make furniture from scratch. So as parents, I think we have to guide them in terms of work. Yeah, we're not gonna pay for her to do art, but we'll pay for her to do computers. Now if she wants to do art after she's finished college, that's on her. So, as a parent, I think you still have to guide them, because I don't think a 17-year-old or 18-year-old really has a wide enough scope on life and the possibilities of life to be able to make some of those lifelong decisions. That's my opinion.
Um, I don't. I mean, that's. I think that if I, based on that video, I think this guy's completely wrong. They had a doctor, they had a teacher, and I don't know what Vanessa became, or I don't know what the other one became. At the end of the day, they were not criminals. They were not doing this and that and the third. And for him to say that the Huxtables was bad parents for, as a matter of fact, the Huxtables let their kids talk, gave their kids opinion, didn't beat their kids, didn't tell them they were stupid, they were not going to be nothing. So I don't know what this guy is talking about to say that two lawyers. Let's go by him. Okay, a lawyer. She's always at work, and he was working from home. His business was in the house. Like he was a doctor. He practiced his business at the house and at the hospital. So I don't understand what this guy's talking about. It was, if he wants to say that the characters didn't create any Black Panther, Black Power children. Okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, what can these kids? If that was what I would want to ask him, if the Cosbys or the Huxtables was a white family, would he feel that way? Because the kids, like, if you're making money and your kids are allowed to go into arts, your kids are allowed to do this. So art is, if Einstein said art is more important, this is the funny thing. Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge. So a lot of Caribbean people, including my family and all of that, oh, don't go into art is dumb. Oh, go into this and this and that and the third. They got people who are good in art. Art make money if you pursue and if you put this thing behind a kid.
Yep.
You're not gonna put. Oh, I'm not trying to say what she said. Oh, I'm not gonna put money for my kid to be a piano player or to be an artist. You're doing your kids a disservice. Maybe the creator sent your kid here to be an artist, to be a musician.
I said she wasn't good at it.
Well, but people would have said Basquiat was not good at it when you look at his shit right now. Now his shit right now costs like $1 million. But I'm just saying that, and this TV show, this guy's so disrespectful. So in defending, when you go in his videos, for a man to be talking about the Cosbys or the what's that show, the Fresh Prince, raise their kids to be white black people, he got biracial kids. The fuck is this guy? What is he talking about? So I mean, even the Cosby had civil rights shows. Even the Fresh Prince had that. Even though Carlton and Hillary were two airheads, which I could understand that if he spoke about them, but I didn't see that in the Cosbys.
Well, here's the question:
Mm-hmm.
Is this a part of the Cosby, the anti-Cosby backlash? Is why? Because who brings up the Cosby Show today any goddamn way? Right? Is this really just to pile on to Bill Cosby? So you break down the legacy of this show?
It might be, because I went on his YouTube. I didn't see him discuss any other shows.
I think that Bill Cosby is a great man. I think that he is a great man. And I'll stand on that. I'll stand on that. You know why I'll stand on that? Because just like people praise the activities of Thomas Jefferson and Andrew Jackson, they focus on the good part aspects of themselves, not their failings. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be with these people who would tend to focus on the things that the so-called dark sides of Cosby, but I'm gonna focus on the good aspects of Cosby and what he in fact did, because other groups of people, when they talk about their historical figures, when they talk about their figures who they praise and worship and respect, they focus on the good parts and aspects of these people. So I would do the same things for Cosby as well. I'm not going to do the same things what these people do. and I'm not gonna play that game. That's a game that they play. So if we play in that game, when you want to talk about Cosby, you go talk about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. Go talk about them before you talk about Cosby.
Yeah, Seventh Heaven wasn't canceled, and that guy was a pedophile, right? Martin Sheen, or who was the guy that was giving everybody AIDS? You don't hear anything about him. None of his shows got canceled.
Charlie Sheen. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when your men rule the world. When your men rule the world, they don't get canceled. When your men don't rule the world, they get canceled. That's what it is. Your men are not ruling the world. They can't even stand for somebody who said some truth.
Yeah, their actions wasn't 40 years ago. Their actions were at least within the last 20, 15, 10 years. And Cosby stuff was like what? Before I was born, please.
So this guy right here, I don't know what he's talking about. He looks retarded. Like like he looks like he got no buns in
He needs
life.
he needs a haircut. He needs a haircut.
I'm not even attacking the haircut. He looked like he got no butt from black girls. He probably was tight because black girls wasn't giving no play. Like, look at this clown. Look at his he got his bed sheets as his background. You go sit the F down, man. That pissed me off, man. Like if you go on his stuff, he granted he got his kids playing the violin, he's interacting with the kids or whatever, but your kids look biracial, my boy. But no disrespect to you, I know black women will probably not give you one chance. I know he ain't got no buns from no black shorties. And
I
he
can't,
mad.
when I come to New York, I have to come to see her. Really, that's one of my things that I gotta do. I gotta buy him a Prestige and some griot and some pickles. That's
First of
one
all,
of the things I gotta
I
do.
might take the prestige, but I'm not know about the grill. But I'm
You
just saying, look at this guy. Like that pissed me off, bro. I watched the video. I thought, all right, let me hear what he has to say. This guy, and none of his other videos have other. I think it's only. Maybe I'm wrong, but he only does this about the Cosby Show. Look at him. You could
know,
tell
I
he
am
got no bun from black girls.
no, I am not critical of Cosby, and in terms of the good and the bad, I accept the good and the bad, and just like how these people worship their heroes, like I say, Andrew, last president of the United States, said that Andrew Jackson was a hero, and Andrew Jackson was a genocider. He's a genocider, masses of people, and he said that's his hero. So if these people could accept the good with the bad, I could accept the good with the bad too. And when I say bad, I talk about accusation.
Why go
Accusation.
so far? You got Biden. Come on, Biden is a accused pedophile, and he don't like black people, and he's in our time, and he's
So,
still getting love.
Yeah, but I thought you were going for accuracy and exactness and precision,
so
not
if
this made up stuff. Hmm?
so, what
Remember when I was saying that we should just make up our own stories, whether they are true or not, or as long as they empower the next generation. So you don't start by telling your children what was wrong with your heroes. You start telling them how heroic they are, and then when you get in your late 60s, then you start to find out the truth when you have more wisdom to pursue.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with that. I think that we should respect the actions of Cosby in his lifetime. We know the devils gonna create their narratives in terms of how they look at him, but I think that we should create our own narratives. I think that Cosby and many men like him has laid the framework, and they're gonna be alternative narratives of how people view him. But this brother did what he did in terms of creating an image and putting an image out there into the world of the black family and the black family. When I used to see Claire Huxtable and Bill Cosby, I used to say that that's the thing I honor. He's an old man. He love his wife. He love his black wife like that. I wish I could have a black wife like Claire Huxtable because she was a fine ass woman back in the day. You know, these are images that we should put out, that was put out in the world in the early 90s, that it really affect the psychology of many black people to follow after. So we go and chase, we want to look for our own little Claire Huxtable in our own little individual lives. So I think it's a good thing, man. I'll never bun I'll never bun Bill Cosby. Never, not in a million years.
And let me also say this in terms of truth and where we look for it. We look for truth in entertainment instead of looking for it in books, because you look at all these films and movies coming out, and people are quick to now do their research and study the Benin Kingdom or the Dahomis and all that. This is the one of the few times that Black people are now worried about historical significance. But when it was all there, all this stuff has been there in the books, but until it comes to the big screen, nobody was worried about the facts and all of that stuff. And then now, and instead of looking at it and admiring it, everybody's looking for everything that is wrong with whatever is presented. So that's the first thing that we do. But one thing that white people know is entertainment is just that. It's supposed to make you feel good. You're supposed to take a story and then put your own spin around it and make it your own. So when we look at Sparta, do you think white people were talking about the slave system of the Spartans and what they did and all that nonsense? No. And even if they portrayed it as a heroic thing, like the Spartan women heroically gave up their children to be slaughtered by the state because they were so great. No, yeah, and their actions were portrayed as heroic, not as these callous women who didn't give a damn about their children. So they don't look to stories for accuracy. They look for it for inspiration, to make them feel good. The Star Wars Federation, that's a fascistic system, but when it's portrayed as proud and all of that stuff. So sometimes when we look at things also from our perspective, where if it comes to truth and accuracy, yes, let's stick to that when it comes to history and so on. But when it comes to myth making, when it comes to making stories and passing on to the next generation, this is not the time to get into bogged into historical details. Not that they don't matter, but this is the time to look at the image, how it affects people, how it makes people feel, versus whether or not it is the gritty truth. So if we want the truth, then inspire people to go look in books, not for that in television. Television can only do so much. And yeah.
I appreciate that, Tan. Any last words for anyone here? All right, then. That's.
Oh wait, can I say something real quick? I just kind of read at the end. I'm sorry. I don't want to take up too much time. Is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I just got in, so I'm just seeing like they're talking about the Huxtables. Like I'm just seeing the prompt. It's like, I mean, it's kind of unrealistic. I mean, it's kind of like aspirational to have like a doctor and a lawyer kind of in the same family. I mean, it's not like it's nothing to have a high ideal. I mean, but it's not. I would say like if you're really trying to like, someone did an analysis of like the kind of like money that they have to make in order to like live in a house like that. It's like I don't know if it I don't know what it was, but it was like what it was like I'm not sure if they could afford to live in a house like that. It's like even with their salaries, but I mean there's better shows that,
Yeah,
I think that
why is it aspirational to have a doctor and a lawyer in the same family?
well, I mean, as far as like I guess as far as like you're looking at like actual like occupations of people, of black people, I don't think that it's like
there's a bunch of black doctors who will marry black lawyers. Doctors marry doctors. What are we talking about?
I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying that. Like, look. It's just not. It's not. It's not. It's not. I guess it's. I mean, it's just TV. So I mean, it's not like what I think. What I'm trying to say is that it Rock. I put it in the comments like this TV show Rock that was on Fox. That is something where I feel like I can relate to that. I feel like there was something closer to that. I was not really a big Cosby Show watcher. Like I grew up like in the 80s. I'm telling my age, but it's like I grew up in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? I saw it on TV, but I really wasn't into it. I can't tell you the whole storyline of the Huxtables, but it's just like, you always have to keep TV with a grain of salt, depending on who is producing the show and all that. That's all I had to say.
Bro, I don't understand. I've met people, some of my classmates, some of the people, our cohorts, Coco could say, they're doctors who marry lawyers. What are we talking about, bro? Like The Rock. I never liked that show, The Rock, anyway. But wasn't he like a garbage man or something?
Yeah.
So you could relate to your father being a garbage man? And I'm not saying that there's not anything wrong with that. But what was his wife in that show? At the end of the day, he was the man of the like and to have a brownstone in the 80s, like the brownstone was not as expensive as they are today, and the money was worth more back then. And it's not like it was that the Bill Cosby's, their parents were well off too. The grandparents came from money too.
Yeah, real black. I think you're being a little bit unfair, man. I think there's a lot of
It's not
African.
about being unfair. Like that shit makes no sense. An
No,
aspiration.
I think it's a lot of African American doctors and lawyers that they exist in the same family, bro. I think it's a little bit unfair, man. You know, but that's just me. You know, I might be wrong. You might know
And then
better.
they could have made Cosby a business owner or whatever. There's a lot of so if that's aspiration, so what the fuck was Tulsa, Oklahoma? The what the fuck was that? If black people were creating before the whole civil rights movement bullshit, when we were by ourselves, that black people had towns that had airports that had this and that and the third. So what is Tulsa, Oklahoma? That was some bullshit too. It was an inspiration. What?
I guess that wasn't. Yeah, that was a terrible choice of words. Look, I didn't mean no offense to say that, but I think that what it is that there's something about the dynamic in that family that it things. How would I say it? It seemed a bit too. For me, it just seemed a bit too.
Oh,
It's a bit too uppity, maybe.
Man,
Maybe it's just a bit too. There was something about it that it was just a bit too outside of the reality that I was used to.
You're in love with the toxicity of black family, like
No,
good times, like
no,
that's what you're in love with.
No.
no,
And I mean, as far as a garbage man, I mean, Martin Luther King died right before a garbage strike. You know, trying to improving sanitation workers. I mean, nothing wrong with garbage. I mean, if you love, you know what I'm saying, the basics of our people, someone has to take out the trash.
Yes, absolutely. I think that what real black gentlemen say that it was outside of the scope of what he was familiar with, and that's a fair assessment. But what I would say is that these people actually do exist in Black America and all over the world. Believe it or not, believe it or not, these people exist.
Well,
And
maybe you're right because
absolutely,
my pops was a doctor, so
really.
yeah,
So what happened?
my
What happened to you? What happened to you?
I don't exactly. I'm one of those Cosby kids. I don't even know. That's what happened to me.
Just a dirt bag. I mean, just buying prostitution.
Just a dirt bag. Just a dirt bag. My
Dirt
my
bag.
father's friends. My father's friends were doctors and were dated. Their wives were either nurses. Like I don't understand. But at the
Okay.
end of the day, I understand maybe what he's saying. Maybe we in love with the toxicity. Like it's not the first time I heard that. I heard of Black Americans or the Cosby was not based on reality. So what was based on reality, bro? Like The Rock, but The Rock. I don't remember. The Rock was a garbage man. What was his wife?
No, the brother was saying that that's not his reality, and that's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment.
But I'm not. I don't even care about them being doctors. What I care about the Cosby is the love that was on the show that the wife had for the husband, the husband had for the wife, and the kids had for each other.
Yes, yes. That I think that I
Like
think that
black people were really less toxic in the Cosby show than I've ever seen in any shows.
I think that the expression of the fact that they had a relationship that was based on it was friendly, it was loving, it was playful. I think that that was something that didn't you people talk about cognitive dissonance because in the reality what we perceive out here we don't really perceive our relationships as being like that on television, and I think that that's a lie because many of our relationships with women and men are playful, loving, and respectful. And I think that the fact that it's coming in terms of a black face, that is resonating with a lot of people with cognitive dissonance because their relationships are toxic. And I think that that's the difficulty when they watch that and see the reality of their own personal lives. But I have good relationships with women, and I'm sure Koku does, and Coke and Erzuli does, and Marcus Garvey is the way, and also Tanzan. I'm sure that they have different kinds of relationships with them, men. And I think that the cognitive dissonance comes in because other people may not have that kind of experience with their own personal relationships. So they're people who they deal with. And I think that, and plus, though, also the propaganda is, well, we can't have these kinds of relationships, and which is ultimately a lie. I think it's a lie because we do have good relationships with our partners. We do. And I think that they don't want to put that out there because it resembles a unity or a cohesiveness that they don't want to put out into the world. So I think that that's what the difficulty is with people who watch these kinds of shows.
And my and The Rock, the husband was a garbage man from Baltimore, and the wife was a nurse. And the Fresh Prince, what was the father was a judge. What was the mother?
The mother was a professor.
Oh, the mother was a professor.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, the only thing I could agree with him is that they didn't raise black kids that were pro or B1 first. That if that's what he was going through, maybe I get that. But in all, I don't think the Cosby was a bad show, bad
I don't
parents.
think so. I don't think
I don't I don't think The Rock was bad parents. I don't think what my man just said on the track from Good Times were bad parents either. So
I don't think
like
it was bad either.
there was some shit I didn't like some buffoonery or whatever. But for him to say the Cosby were bad parents because they like this guy had nothing to do with his first of all, he needs to get a better haircut.
No, he needs to
And
get a girlfriend too. Get a girlfriend too.
no, he definitely he not getting no black chick because
No, no,
what.
Ozuna, I think he could pull time. He can pull time.
Yeah,
Kenyan guy.
Terrence
Oh,
from
I
Kenya.
knew you had to fire a shot before the night was over.
Terrence from Terrence from Kenya. Their men kind of look like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kenyan
No,
guy
no,
went to
no, he's not. No, this is West African stock. No, this is West African.
So Kenya would
Look at the
probably.
name.
I mean, Tenzin probably find this guy very attractive.
you know,
He got
you
the.
know,
These
you know,
are not our people. Yeah,
you
look.
know, Kenny, Tan is hot for her right now because he looks like a werewolf.
But I've seen that. He just has no swag. Like I know he don't. I know he ain't got. If he tell me he married a black woman, I'm gonna be shocked.
Well, someone says he's married to a white woman.
That's what I tell because I watch some of the videos. The kids that he has, they look biracial to me. Look at him. Look at him. Big Coca-Cola glasses. And oh man. Just the
But
nerve.
you know what? What you say that about him and black women, that's one of the reasons why they say that they go to the other side, because they say that black women don't want them anyway. So, you see.
Look, well, the one that they don't want you. Okay, whatever. But bro, don't come here and trying to shit on my man Dr. Huxtable.
Oh yeah, Bobby Wright is right. See, yeah, that's West African over there. Yeah, yeah.
He's straight from Nairobi. He looked Nairobi-esque.
No, you don't know Nairobi. No, the Nairobi is nothing like that.
His dad is Ghanaian and mom African American.
Yeah, FBA and West Africa once again. That's
Well,
yours.
I think I feel bad for him. The sisters give him no shot because he probably was an awkward kid in high school, an awkward kid and stuff in college, and then he got no buns. I know he got no buns from the sisters. Oh, and Coco, you think he got buns from the sisters?
And
10. Would you give him some buns?
10 Tan would smash. 10 Tan would definitely smash.
Look, we shouldn't throw away, these people. This is why we're losing as black women because we're letting these men go over to the other side and get captured by, the Beckys and so on, So that's the only reason why I wouldn't recommend, him going to the other side. So I would tell a young lady, maybe she might not be she might just be as visually challenged as him, and maybe she has bad eyesight. He has double for both of them. She doesn't need to see, just keep close to him.
I'm saying, if he puts on a little swagger, he's not an unattractive brother. But the way he looks and trying to come at my man, Dr. Huxtable, man, shut up. Like, who is he? Dr. Huxtable got buns. I saw the episode when he was in college and he was a track star. So I don't know.
Look, Trigger Happy, the only reason why I don't just say, let them go on the other side is I don't care about them, is the fact that they still produce children who unfortunately technically can still come back and forth in our community and continue to create that sort of, and a lot of these people, they do raise their children to be, African centered. They show them the wonderful culture and all that, and they want to go back to the African roots and find out, and then they have a direct lineage. They actually know where their family, the African side, comes from, so they go back and then they show off to the Africans, and you're like, oh, we are better breed and so on. So the children that they create do create a lot of confusion for not just themselves but for the other children around them. So that's the only reason why I say, if it was just them, go and do your thing. But, it creates the second generation who might go either way. And a lot of the time it's going to be our, problem. Yeah. So I encourage black women to take up with these kinds of men and don't just, let them go and so what?
With these kinds of men?
Before they're taken, of course, before they're taken, when they're still in their nerdy, vulnerable stage, pick them up, give them a shower, take them to, the barber.
No. See, that's the problem. Men like that should not get picked up. Men like that should not get picked up.
Why does he have to take a shower?
He has no. I mean, this man is not. This man, nah, he's not for. But when you look at some of his videos, if you look at his videos and go on his thing, you would think like he has some pretty interesting videos. But nah, you don't come at Mr. Huxtable like that. And Claire Huxtable, one of the baddest mothers of all time, and sitcom.
I have a question. I have a question, right? I mean, this ain't a silly question. This is an honest question. All right. This is a question for time. What is like an attractive Kenyan man look like to you?
My goodness gracious. And then when the Tezi just entered the chat, so Tezi is in the building.
Mr. Untouchable, you're not Kenyan, so who cares?
No, because she said that all he has to do is take a shower.
He needs more than a shower. He needs a whole haircut.
I don't think he needs a haircut, even though I say that, but because that's part of his black features. If he wants to keep his haircut, that's something that's missing in him. It's not the haircut, because I've seen a lot of brothers with afros like that who get buns.
Hey,
he just needs a little bit of a trim, though, for real. Just a little bit of a trim.
Port-au-Prince so good at, because we know I rocking in Haiti, but I just want to know, what does an attractive Kenyan person look like? Because obviously this gentleman right on the screen, he only has to get like a shower, and
good to go. He good to go.
Look, all Africans. Wow, you will not stop cloning him. Trigger Happy now is on his hairline. Okay. And forehead combined. Well, I would say that the typically attractive Kenyan. Well, Kenyan men are all attractive. They're just all generally attractive, just like Kenyan women are all beautiful. None more than the other.
So hold on now, wait a minute. So is this guy on the screen right now? Is he attractive? He's a
No, he doesn't look Kenyan at all.
no, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, is he attractive?
Well, remember the premises. All Kenyans are attractive. He does not look Kenyan at all. Therefore,
But you know what the funny thing is? When you go into his other videos, he has a haircut. It's just my man is don't have the swag that the sisters would check for, probably. Or maybe the sisters he wanted didn't want him. Sometimes they go for the baddies. Go for a normal sister. He would have been all right.
No,
But
because
nah,
he's
that's him
rocking.
right there.
No,
Ah,
he's rocking a werewolf right now. I mean, he looks like a werewolf. I mean, so
if you go into his other videos, he had short haircuts.
does he?
yeah, this is the once a month, werewolf stage. He goes back to normal the rest of the days.
Oh man. There you go.
No. Trigger happy.
Oh
No,
damn!
don't say. It's not.
And you
Nobody's saying he's ugly. It's just that
There you go.
stop,
there's.
stop.
Get
He's
it, Tanya.
not attractive.
There you
It's
go,
not.
Tanya.
He doesn't have
Get
no
it.
swag, man.
What
Hey.
is what it what is he wearing? What's that sweater over the collared shirt look?
He got
No,
the
this,
Bill Cosby looking. He trying to play Dr. Huxtable with his bum ass.
no, but the Kenyans go for this, man. Don't this Kenyan styles, man. She goes for this,
Wow. I guess you men can just be as vicious on other men as on ugly women. So yeah,
They're
you know,
being
I'm not.
I,
catty.
I'm not gonna say the man is ugly, but I'm gonna say he has no. He doesn't have the it. It's like he won't be able to pull a sister. Oh,
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
well,
you don't think
he's not
The,
attractive, but with women, you don't need to be attractive to pull a woman.
that's not what I
He
said. I said
uh,
he doesn't have the swag. There's something
hey,
missing in there.
that
There's
is
something
that
he's
Yes,
missing.
but
that's
some
the other
women
one.
don't need swag or want it. Some women are just attracted by, you being able to say big words and say all these things, you
Big
know.
words. So he could pull you
Yes.
there.
I didn't say me, I said some. So
Ah,
I'm still saying that there are women, he can still get some African women, even with his whole, style
Yo,
or lack of.
yo, Trigger is vicious, man. Trigger happy said if he ugly without the beard. Damn.
no, no. To be fair, the beauty standards are different when it comes to different kinds of people. So when uh um when the sister sees this, she don't really look at what you're looking at. She looking at something different, and she said that. It doesn't, they don't really have to. They could just use big words and be able to pull them. So there's really you need to read a dictionary and learn big words so you can pull women like her.
I got $20. I'm good.
Oh, one of those nightly. Anyway, so all I'm saying is that unfortunately, for some people, they don't know their market value. So while he may have good economic value, maybe the women that might find him attractive are not looking for looks. They're maybe looking for security, for a nice house, for a
Yes,
polite gentleman, reliable,
yes,
you know.
that's
Yes,
interesting. That's interesting. You listen to the women. So Barbados, are you still here? Barbados is not anymore.
I think she stepped off.
No, I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
My battery was dying.
Good. So
Okay.
I got Barbados is so I can interview her. So Barbados, this
Uh-huh.
this young gentleman right here on the screen right now, he is an educated man. He use big words. I mean,
Mm.
would you look for this kind of guy? Would you find him? I mean, if you was married, of course, would you
Mhm.
find him to be a person you would want to? you have as a person who would be a person of interest as far as your personal life is concerned? Would you look in him and say, yeah, well, I could go for him. He use big words. He's educated.
Well, I do like an
Also
intelligent
known
man.
as bonds transactions. That's also known as bonds transactions. But go ahead.
I do like an intelligent man. But I don't consider him as the guy was saying. I don't think he has game. I don't think I ever dated anyone with glasses either. So I don't know.
Wow, it's interesting what women go for. Wow.
What? No,
So
I am attracted to an intelligent man. So
so you would
and it
be
really doesn't matter what they look like. But
you'd be able to look past the
I don't know,
superficial.
huh?
You'd be able to look past the superficial and just focus on
Well,
the
I'm
fact.
not blind. I'm not blind, so I'd have to be honest. He still has to be attractive.
What is attractive to you?
Um, I would say I like height.
Height. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Um, I already said intelligence, so height and intelligence. You know.
Are you all brothers listening to this? Because to me, this man looks like a frog. So I mean, this
Did you just say a frog?
he looks like the Kermit the Frog. So
His skin looks dry. He needs to get some shea butter. I'm sorry, he look like a frog.
yeah,
He has a white wife. She don't know that. She's not
no,
gonna tell him that.
no, but the corners of his mouth is like crest. It have like white like crest, like
Okay,
Yo,
y'all are being really mean. Oh my god, this
only
poor man.
only your black wife would tell him, hey, you need to put some lotion on, some shea butter on. Only that.
Urzuli, you have the sister say. The sister say, oh well, he's tall, and this Barbados say he has to be tall. Uh, my other sister from Kenya says that well he has to use big words. Nothing about the glasses. None of the fact that he looks like Urkel. None of the fact that his hairline goes back to the back of his neck. I mean, they looking at something completely different. I hope you're hearing this. I hope you're hearing this.
Y'all are so mean. Oh
I don't. If I'm gonna use gas and milk here, I'm gonna bring gas and milk. I don't believe anything these women say. They don't even know what they're saying.
This is
The
what
brother.
So you
I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. This guy just have no swag.
No,
if he had.
No, you going to the gym is in vain. You showing all their muscles. That's what white girls. These black girls are saying. These black girls are saying he has to be tall and use big words. So you drinking steroid juice, it's not gonna work. So
First of all, I'm not drinking steroid juice. But what I'm gonna say,
no, Bwana Haguziki, and both of you, you're both wrong, and what women want is not women. Yeah, they'll want the the stereotypical characteristic Hollywood version of whatever they're being given, but when it comes to the individual person, and that's why most men, ugly, rich, poor, can get a woman, is because of this. A woman, yeah, she'll look at the looks, they want the tall, dark, and handsome, and so on. But if you're not tall, but you're still dark, if you're not dark but you're still handsome, if you're not handsome but you're still tall, and any combination thereof, they'll still look at you. And then even if you're not neither of those three things and you have something else, you have charm, you have wit, you have humor, women have far more that they look for a man, and far more compensations than men do. You see, with men, if a woman is ugly, there's very little that she can do to offset that. Rest in peace. But no, it wasn't offset, it was the other one, take off. There's not much that a woman can do to to take that off. So, but a man that is not, doesn't have looks, or doesn't have riches, or doesn't have, basically for a man is just maximize whatever you have. If a woman is seeing you maximizing whatever it is that you have, if this guy is not here now, it's not in the looks department, he has no swagger, he has nothing like that. But if a woman is attracted to intelligence, she might overlook all that, frogginess about him and say, you know what, he's ugly, he's this, but he can, say the biggest word in the whole wide world.
Wow.
Okay, I put my glasses on. He doesn't. No, I just put them on because I wasn't sure what I was looking at. But
she's enamored by his big brain. He's like,
he's not. To be honest, he's
That's
not
your line.
attractive. He just needs to put some face lotion and put some Vaseline on his lips.
That's all he
But
need to do.
You see, a woman is already waiting to make the
That's
improvement. Like, I can work with him. I can work with this. You know, he just needs a this beat, that, boom, boom, boom. You know.
Wow.
Yo, yo. If Shirley Chisholm could get a husband, that guy could get a black girl.
Wow.
This dude originally reached out to me a couple of weeks ago and said, "Yo, Google Shirley Chisholm man or something like that." And once you look at the pictures of Shirley Chisholm, no disrespect, you cannot take the image out your head.
Yeah,
That's a man with a wig on.
No, she ain't a pretty woman.
yeah, she had a really sharp jaw, and she was from Barbados, so she has some Barbados fruits as well.
Yeah, she was from
Wow, that's
I
from
think the
Barbados.
wig was not flattering. Her wig
That's
was
how
not
the
flattering.
that's
She
the
had a
women
sharp
from
jaw.
Barbados. Yo, if Shirley Chisholm could get married, this brother could have got a sister because Shirley Chisholm is not attractive at all. She looked like Martin's mother from Martin. That's what she looked like.
I know the brothers gonna go after. They gonna go after the physical whatever. But it's fascinating what the women talk about in terms of attraction. What they would go for, and the
Mr. Untouchable, stop saying that. If you have money, you could bag them. It don't matter how ugly you look.
That's
Y'all
not
are being so unrealistic.
That's a lie. That's not true. 99% of women.
There's someone for everyone, and y'all are forgetting that there's someone for everyone.
No, that's not true. That's not true. There's nobody.
The sisters that mentioned two things. They mentioned height. They mentioned his intellectual capacity.
Yo, it doesn't matter if you have the bag, man. It doesn't matter.
I'm saying what they said. You know,
they're lying. They don't even know. Women don't even know what they want. You listening to them?
No, how you can say they lying, bro? That's what they said.
Yo, you playing around. I don't believe in anything they said. They said men is short, and men is dit. Let me come with the bag. See if they stop talking that shit.
But these are the men you grew up around in the Caribbean. I mean, y'all are looking at certain phenotypical. Okay, he looks fine there.
Wow. I'm amazed. I'm blown away.
Doesn't he look normal there?
I'm blown away.
I don't know. Put it back.
Listen to me. Y'all got a lot of chat for a bunch of people who ain't coming up, you know.
I can carry him up. I mean, it's late in the night, but I can carry him up.
I ain't carrying him up for shit, but I'm fine as fuck.
I can carry him up. We can carry him up.
Oh my. And self-praise is no praise. That's the same we have in the Caribbean. Self-praise is no praise.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't look bad over here. All he has to do, he just needs a professional stylist makeover. He's not an ugly looking dude, but the way he came up, nah. What somebody said self-praise is no praise. What?
In the Caribbean, we say that self-praise is no praise.
I need to find a light. But I like this.
You know, there's no light in Barbados right now. The electricity cut out. Shut up. You know the Bahamas where you at right now ain't got no light. Talk about looking for a light. Shut up.
I think you're the same flight as Nigeria.
Hold on.
Okay, y'all talking plenty shit tonight.
Is this the week of the lights or the week with no lights? You do your cooking every other week.
Coco, you see how they trick you, right?
This guy talking about let me get the light. Yo, don't you say let me grab the candle? Talking about let me get the light.
Kerosene lamp. Oh, I used to hate them candle. When my lights used to cut off, that candle, something about candle gives me a headache, boy. I used to hate that shit.
No, that man needs to. He's not. I mean, well, again, if Charlie Chisholm could get a husband and be married for like 60 years, that brother could have got a sister. I don't understand.
Well,
Yeah.
I agreed. I said that he wasn't, whatever he was, there was going to be some woman who will find something attractive in him. The problem is that he was probably looking for another group of women to find him attractive when, maybe he was shooting out of his range. So
His
that's what.
Becky could be basic. We're assuming that because he had a white woman, she's good looking. His Becky could be the most basic Becky in the world.
Well, I don't know. It does. I think she's okay looking, but I think that the excuse is like, oh, the black women didn't want me. I think that's something that is the ones that you went for, didn't want you, but there's always one that's going to want you because she wants something else that you want. Maybe he was looking for the ones who wanted the looks, but a woman who wants looks is not going to go out with an ugly dude. So you either have to have a very somebody who wants money, which he's obviously has a job so he can afford, and then somebody who wants security. He doesn't have swag, but he looks like a reliable fella. He comes home every night, does the same routine every day. So some women like that. So yeah, just
The
maximize
fu- the funny thing is, Dr. Huxtable, when you look at the show, had a similar look. Dr. Huxtable, when you look like when they do, Bill Cosby has a similar. He had an afro. He had this, but Dr. Huxtable had a little swag. Dr. Huxtable wasn't just a nerd. You could be a cool nerd. You just can't be a nerd with no social etiquette. He probably doesn't know how to interact with black society or maybe black people. So
probably.
sometimes
Yeah, probably. So yeah, unfortunately, we do lose, people like those ones. The only problem is they keep coming back, to make their little comments. So we have to deal with that. But
my whole thing is with him. He dared to attack Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable and my main girl, Mrs. Huxtable. Oh, he's disrespectful. Mrs. Huxtable's like a 20. Jesus Christ. The disrespect. Mr. Untouchable, did you like the kerosene lamp yet? Talk about oh, he quiet.
He had some light on, but he looked like
wait,
Captain,
how does he have Wi-Fi without electricity? How does the Bahamian internet work?
the
You know,
Bahamian.
them hold up. Did you say Bahamian? Yo, Tenzin is disrespectful. Bahamian. Yo.
That's somewhere. I don't know where she put that. She put that.
Yo, Mr. Untouchable, you hear what she said? She called you a Bahamian. What the hell?
You think I worry about these Canadians?
Well, he's been going at me half the night, so
All I see is darkness there. All I see is darkness. Go. All I see is darkness.
Man. All I see is darkness. Come on. Come on, man. Come on.
it's time to go harvest some sun for the midnight electricity.
Darkness.
That woman put that light up my eye. I know.
Get some sunlight in the cup for the evening.
All
Darkness.
right.
Darknesses.
It is interesting how my sisters look at what in terms of what attraction is for men, and I think that men should take note of this because what we think that they looking at, they're really looking at. So, Urzuli, you could stay in the gym and tell tomorrow that's not gonna matter because they're not looking at your muscles anyways. So you need to.
It doesn't matter what they think about. Most of them, what they care about is your bank account. So that's it. Ugly, short, Biggie,
No
small.
woman knows
most
what's
people-
in your bank account. Come on, if a woman walks up to you, how do you know
Yes,
what's in your bank
yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. Women looks. You could walk to somebody who's attractive. If you find out he ain't got shit, it's like I don't know. But you see an ugly guy, ashy, but you found out he has
Nope.
good
You know,
eyes. Lies,
No,
lies, lies. We don't believe you. We
you're
believe
the
on
one who's
people.
lying.
Yo, a broke man can get rich, a fat man can get skinny, but an ugly man will stay ugly, huh?
Not true. Now with his money. Now with his money. Now with his money. You think if Jay-Z didn't have no money, he'll be able to get Beyonce?
He got
No,
Beyonce and a whole bunch of other women, ugly and pretty.
What does that mean? People don't consider Jay-Z as an attractive guy. You know what? Not Jay-Z. Let's use Biggie for example. Not, who's okay? Perfect. What's that guy named? Seal. Seal is not considered an attractive guy, and he got the baddest chick in the world at one time.
listen to this freaking. Listen to this little
Nothing's wrong
little
with you.
little house nigga talking about he had the baddest woman at all time. Why she's the
White
baddest?
woman.
She's the white
No,
woman.
I'm talking about at the time his wife was was considered as one of the baddest women in the world.
To who?
Seal?
To who?
Seal's wife.
Because she's a snow bunny.
Yeah, I know, because I never thought she was cute.
Stop
You
it.
didn't think she was cute, but the world,
Yeah, because she was a supermodel, but I mean, whatever.
So
I mean, she is pretty, for a white girl. I'll give her that. But when it's not just about the bag as well. You first start, like she said that nobody knows you. You don't have your account number written on top of your fine your
yes,
head.
you do. Yes, you
No,
do. Yes, you do. The way you dress, the way what car you drive, the way you dress sends out a lot of messages or whatever. Stop it. If you find out a guy, I've seen a lot of so-called quote unquote
Rent a Ferrari for a weekend.
I see a lot of quote unquote unattractive guys who have money get a lot of women. But so I don't know what you're talking about.
So I was saying this with everything, with all the different facets. If you have something, you make, you take advantage of it. So you don't have looks. That doesn't mean that looks are not important just because ugly guys can get women. They offset that. Like I said, everything is about offsetting, and women understand that if you don't have your looks, you have some money, then yeah, you will overlook, Jay-Z's, face,
Have a personality.
and all that.
Personality.
This is women.
Yes.
Women.
And then if you have money but you don't have the looks, yeah, some women will put up with that for a while, but they'll be scheming to get your money so they can get away from your ugly looks.
Not some. A lot of women will put
Okay, fine, a lot of women. But that's what I'm saying. For women, it's very different, the range of things that they want. If a woman wants a man with money, she knows what signs to look for. And even if you don't have your Ferrari in full sight, she'll know that, oh yeah, that's a man with money, and she'll go for it. Man, some men may be able to hide it for some time.
Hold up, not to cut you off. Mr. Untouchable, stop making sweet eyes into the camera. Stop that.
Don't hate me
Trying to look like Michael B. Jordan, huh?
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Oh my God, this guy. Yo, this guy, he put the
I find my life. I had
what you got the kerosene candle is working. This guy, right? Yeah.
That's the circle light. We call it, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a circle light.
You got a circle light? That's called the what's that called? That's the light them girls use when they do makeup. That's what you got?
The ring light.
The ring light. That's what you call it. The ring light. I have to get that because I was trying to. At one point, I wanted to be like a YouTuber person, like what Kokus do. But I figured, Kokus do this thing, and I say, let me back him, man, because the man doing a good job. So let me back what Koku doing.
Yo, Barbados said came up. My man came up. Yo, I see your girl not around because she would have hit you in the head. What you came him up for?
No, she's sleeping right now. She's sleeping right now.
She's sleeping right now. That's why you came him up.
Yeah, she's sleeping right. Let me take this camera off.
All right, let's
looking out for your girl.
No, Koku is doing a good job. So I had to back my brother because my brother doing a good job with this Pan African stuff. So I had to back my brother because I was gonna go in a completely different direction as far as money is concerned, because that's the game. But
you was gonna do makeup tutorials.
No. I was gonna do financial literacy in terms of things like that. But I think that my brother doing such a good job. I had to back him. So I had to get on board with his train. What he trying to do? Had to do it. I had to do it.
Hey, yo, you back him up on the train? What?
You're so wrong.
Hey, listen, Azuli, you can't talk to me. You was walking downtown, holding hands with some freaking random dude.
Pounded it out.
Finding it out.
First of all,
Played some basketball and pounded it out. I mean, come
And
on.
you was smiling too. You was smiling too. You was letting it happen. You was letting it happen live and in living color.
I was shocked.
You was in a
Oh my god, y'all are so wrong.
First of all, I was in Goku. You need to stop talking about I was pounding. Stop saying that, bro.
Dude, you said it.
No, I did not. How did I say I was pounding?
You was letting it happen. You ain't like pull away your hand or nothing. You was like, okay, let's go. Stop
You put up no resistance.
No resistance. I was riding with this.
Yo, y'all wildin'. That's not. Oh my god, really? Goku, you need to stop that. Stop using that word talking about pounding. None of that happened.
Dude, you used the terminology.
What?
You said you and the fella played some ball and pounded it out.
When did I say what?
Hold on, Dan Van. Didn't he say that?
I remember that show, yeah.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah, it was a couple months ago. It was a couple months ago, yeah.
Oh,
Yo,
God, I'm crying.
Immigrant, you just making that up. You heard that a couple of months ago.
Yeah, when y'all were talking, it was on the show. I remember.
Yeah.
Y'all been to like the nightclub. And
I guess he doesn't remember the pounding.
Yeah.
Wow. Since
You're cold.
He repressing the traumatic experience.
Yeah, he was
from his memory.
He was in his tight you know what I mean? Walking live in Liverpool up and down Brooklyn.
I don't even, what are you guys talking about pounding? All I remember was the story I told about the guy that was holding.
Yeah, that same fella. The same fella in question.
Hold on.
You said y'all played some ball and pounded it out.
No. I'm talking about.
Everyone was taken aback by it. Like, he did what? He played the ball and then pounded it. Like, why that combination?
No, I remember the only show we were talking about men holding hands and stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about?
The one when you were talking about cultural something, I think.
Yeah, we were talking about but when we saying that when we asked Tenzin if the men in Kenya hold hands, and she said yes, they do.
Nobody said anything like that. You said that you and your friends would hold hands before you went for your game of basketball.
What are you? I said the guy. Oh my goodness,
dude! You said you and the man played some ball and then pounded it out.
And then did the man hold his hand before or after?
Yeah. The dude pulled the hand and walked with you somewhere. Y'all went and played ball, and then y'all pounded it out and went to separate ways. You said that.
Goku, shut the hell up.
Your
you just made that
Haiti.
up.
I thought it was his friend from Haiti.
Yeah, I said it was a guy that came from Haiti. I said it was a guy that came from Haiti. We were friends, and he was rushing to go to class, and he grabbed my hand, and for a minute, and that was weird to me.
No, you didn't say grab. You said hold.
Yeah.
What's the difference between grab and held? Like,
one involves eye contact.
A huge difference.
One
line between straight and gay.
Did you pull away? Did you pull away when he hold your hand, like grab your hand?
Shut up, Mr.
Before you said no.
What?
Did you look
you
at
said no, but he continued holding your hand.
Like for 2 seconds. So 2 seconds. Then I was like, nah, chill, son. That's funny style.
Nah, I didn't hear that part of the story.
I said
Nah,
that's
you
funny
switching
style.
up the story now. We didn't hear that. Nah.
Even that sounds sweet, to be honest.
What?
Even that sounds kind of sweet.
I said, nah, we don't hold hand here. What you mean?
Yeah, it sounded like it was a hushed, like a hushed kind of gay thing.
No,
Like,
we don't do that here.
Nah,
Maybe,
we
maybe
were
over
talking
there, but not over here.
Yeah.
we were talking about different cultures, and I said that happened to me, and that's a
No, don't
brother
hold
that
hands
came
later.
from Haiti, and it was weird, but I never said about nothing pounding. Like, yo, y'all, wow, man, yo, and then you're gonna say, yes, I did. Did we pound it?
It really
Thank you,
was a weird at first, and
thank you,
then you got
Bobby E.
used
Right?
to
See,
it.
that's my brother right there.
Was a weird at first,
Bobby
and
E.
then you
Right
got used
messaging.
to it.
What?
Was it weird at first, and then you got used to it?
Oh my God!
And you went and played ball. I can't believe you trying to tell me you don't remember this part.
I
Went and
don't
played
remember
ball
this,
with
but
the fella, pounded it out.
You did say you're sexy as hell, didn't you? You
yeah, I
did
think
say you're sexy as hell. I think your friend agreed with you.
nah,
That's
nah,
why he
nah,
held your hand.
nah, nah. You're just trying to be funny right now. I never remember saying talking about pounding it out with nobody.
We can call you Saucy or Zuli from now on in the show.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I gave him a pound and left, but pounded. Like, what are you talking about? Yo, y'all weird, yo.
How hard?
Now, what?
Give him a
I gotta.
pound.
How hard?
A pound?
You pounded it out. That's what
Just
happened.
just a 3-second rounder? I mean,
No. There's a different. I said I gave him a pound. I don't remember.
Good pound.
Yeah, I'm making
Yeah,
shit up.
never
Man.
found it.
Well, whatever, man.
In all seriousness, I personally think that in this discussion alone, I think that Arzuli's from Haiti, me and Koku's from the Bahamas, my sister Barbados is from Barbados, and Tan is from Kenya, and I think that the problem is that when we say the problem, I think the difficulty lies where we have so many similarities, and because of our distance between borders, we we didn't have the ability to come together to see our similarities, man, because we just laugh the same, we just joke the same, we have the same kind of mentalities. And I think that, I think that our efforts should be working towards creating some kind of situation where, well, we're doing it now on the internet, but I think that one day, one day it should come outside of the so-called social media and come into real life, because I think that we do have a lot of things that we could share, and because of our long separations from each other, I think that, when we meet each other and greet each other and get together, we'd find that we would have more in common than we have our differences, despite the fact that we've been separated for so long from each other. Because we are one people, man. These people is great, all these little narratives of this and that and the third, but in reality, when we get together, all we can do is laugh and talk shit with one another. So I think that's sad.
I need to stop with that pounding shit, though. All jokes aside. And Coco, you the number one thing of that. 10 cents not that funny. Stop
I,
it.
I remember in high school, I used to have one teacher from Barbados. Her name was Miss Gentle. She was what you all would consider to be mixed race or whatever. But she used to beat the shit out of me. Lord have mercy, in primary school. But I don't know. I had a lot of interactions with Bajans. I know I had a whole lot of interactions with Haitians. Lord have mercy, they all around me. But not a lot with Bajans.
I thought that story was gonna end different. Like, what? Why did you even?
I had all kind of interactions with Haitians. I like, but the truth. Let me tell you the truth. I love them for the most of my Caribbean people, and this is the honest to God truth. I think that the Haitian people are the most, and people will disagree with me to the end of the earth, but Haitian people are the most kindest, friendliest people who I've ever met in my life. That's a
Who?
fact.
Haitian
That's
people,
Haitian people. That's a
like Azulis people.
Erzuli's people. That's a fact. I have never.
Why did you say it like that? Like Ezra's people? What?
That's a fact.
Yeah, Tan fuck up for that, but yeah, go ahead.
Haitian people, Haitian to me, and I've been to, traveling through the world, and I see whenever I meet Haitian people, they always friendly, they always greet me nice, and they always been very overly friendly to me. I don't have the same experiences, I guess, with other people because I don't know why they get such a bad name because I never had a the only bad experience I had with Haitian people is just really routing me out on the internet. That's the only bad experience.
I think one of the main reasons I think some Haitians might be over friendly, I think is I guess it could be a good
The one
thing,
who
but I
let
think,
in.
oh my God. What?
Barbados,
Are you talking
Haitians,
about holding hands
Haitians,
again?
Barbados,
What you
Haitians,
said?
Barbados,
I didn't say
Barbados.
that again.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Azuli.
Are
That's
they
fine.
are they Haitians in Barbados? Barbados.
I don't think she's in Barbados, bro.
Not really. When I was there, I don't know. I don't know if they're there. I don't know if they're there now. But I've been gone for almost 20 years. I've gone back. The last time I was back was 2016. So no, there were more Guyanese
Okay,
there than Haitians at the time.
okay,
Well, I think the Haitians are over friendly, maybe because they're trying to prove themselves that they're not the stereotype that the Caribbean puts on them or America or European puts on them. But as a yeah, I guess I'm not gonna say Haitian people are not friendly, but
very extremely, extremely. The best of the Caribbean I've met. The best. I gotta say. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's been my experience. I can't speak for Coco. Can't speak for no one else. But that's been my experience. You know.
mm, I mean, I guess we. I
No,
guess
Louis one like
Azul
the
is not
people.
used to compliments, you see. So
Yeah.
no. I'm talking about. I'm trying to understand what he's saying. Like, if as a Haitian person, I like sometimes when you meet people from different nation, they treat you better than they treat their own people. But that's what I was thinking about. My interaction with Haitian people. Yeah, they've been friendly. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that they've been friendly, but I mean, other nations. I don't know if other nations are not friendly or if they just listen to the stereotype that they placed on us and dealt with us accordingly. So I don't know.
No, I don't look at it like that.
But what's the stereotype against Haitians? I've never heard no stereotype against Haitians.
Where you from? Where you live?
She's
Are you?
big.
Barbados. I
Where
mean,
you
I
live
live in
in?
America. I live in America,
Where
but
in
I mean, what is
where
the
in,
stereotype?
where in America you live?
Oh, in Missouri.
And you lived there all your life?
No, no.
Well,
We came up from Virginia and then came
oh,
over here. Yeah,
I think I don't know what
I
the
came here in
one.
my 20s. No, I wasn't here all my life. No.
So well, they say Haitian people do voodoo. Haitian people, uh, I don't
Oh,
know.
you mean that stuff? I mean,
They
to
said
me,
Haitian brought AIDS to America.
really?
They said a lot of shit about Haitian people.
No,
But
the voodoo I remember, but the AIDS I've never heard of that. But the voodoo, like people trying to practice voodoo now just to be like, in with, spiritualism now. So shoot, I guess it came full circle.
Yeah, and you all don't have a monopoly on voodoo. Trust me, because we have our own version called Obeah, so don't worry about it.
well, that's what one thing that I learned because I was talking to somebody is like they put the whole voodoo thing on Haiti to disparage them, but the whole Caribbean does it. They name it. They have different names for it. So, but I don't know the stereotype. Well, if you was Haitian and you grew up in New York City from 1990 until probably 2000 something, it's not a good thing. I mean,
Really?
yeah.
Mm.
But
But
who is
why?
America nice to anyway? America isn't nice to most black anyone.
Yeah,
That's true.
Wyclef help all y'all Haitians out. Wyclef make you all popular. So
First of all, what?
Wyclef,
he's right.
Wyclef and the refugees prize, prize. He make y'all
Fuji Man.
yeah, he make y'all popular in America, I guess.
I'm not. Let me see. The Fugees came out like in 98,
Yeah.
98, 90. They blew up around 98, 99.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could say Wyclef did his part or whatever because those albums were crazy.
Yeah, he
The,
made you popular.
the Fugees album, he didn't make us popular. We was already popular.
I also popular because let me ask you a question with the Haitians, right? No, this is the real question for real. Like, why do y'all wear like church shoes and shit like that? I mean, what's for real is really.
Yo, you see the disrespect? You see the disrespect?
You know what was funny? We used to have a saying when I was home growing up. We used to have a saying called Haitian colors. Like there was a certain kind of dress code and colors that Haitians wore, and I always wondered why that was.
But this is the thing. They talk like I heard that too. Like Haitian people dress. I think Haitian people are more color coordinated than Jamaican people. I don't understand
how. Come on, you can't say that with a serious face.
What do you mean? Like, okay, I want to be from the. I don't understand what y'all mean by Haitian colors.
Haitian colors is wearing pink and green, or like.
Yo, shut your ass up, man.
Brown and gray and black.
Like
what?
Polka dot and yellow for no reason.
Yeah, shit like that.
And then
yo.
and then topping it off with some nice pointy church shoes.
I will give you the pointy church shoes because I remember when I was young. Oh my God, I couldn't believe that. Damn, they made me wear church shoes to school. Oh my God. But I'll give you the church shoes. What?
And a briefcase in your hand?
Nah, they didn't go that far. Nah, but they might have.
Sometimes have briefcase with them too, but
yo, can you shut the what the like? What are you talking about? Haitian were wearing green and pink. That's not true. What are you talking about? That's
yes,
me.
That was true.
Yeah, that's not true. Haitian people never wear those kind of colors. Those are Jamaican colors.
Brown and gray and church shoes and all them shit. Yeah.
Brown and gray. What is wrong with brown and gray?
It's a kind of gray, man. It was a thing. It was a thing. It was a weird thing. Like,
are you talking about back in the Bahamas or Bahamia? Yeah. Bahamia or back in when you was in America?
Back in the Bahamas, yeah. So back in the Bahamas.
You ain't called Tanzania an asshole, but you called me an asshole. Okay. but hold on, that's not. Well, maybe because I'm Haitian, I didn't see it. Maybe that's what you see it. I've never seen us dress weird. Like you trying to say Haitian people was dressing with no color coordination?
I think to you Haitians, maybe it might not be weird. You're looking at each other. You probably grew up, dressing up in green and pink every day. So, nobody says anything.
Tenzin, watch your mouth. We didn't grow up wearing green.
Then when you step out of Haiti, everybody's looking at you.
No, that's not right. Polka dots and all them kind of shit. That's what y'all used to do.
Come on, man. You all know y'all ain't color coded, man. For real, y'all ain't on coded art.
Man, the Caribbean is known for colors anyway, so don't be hating.
No, that's what I don't understand. What they're talking about colors. Like the Caribbean is a very colorful place. So because we were dressing colorful,
it's not about the color. It's about the coordination.
Yeah.
Tanzan, you shouldn't be talking. You're from Kenya. Yeah, Africans ain't got no colors at all. Stop.
Well, the few that we have, we know how to put them together.
The only thing that coordinates with the Kenya is the Kenyan flag. Stop. Then after that, y'all stop. I don't understand.
You don't need anything else. It represents everything.
What you're talking about, I don't see it.
Hey,
the only Caribbean island that I see that was dressed very colorful when I saw was Jamaican people used to wear crazy colors. But I don't know how that threw that on Haitian people. So, but that could just be me. I know.
Did it confuse you when you saw the Jamaican people?
No, Jamaicans is yellow.
Wow.
Jamaicans is a yellow card too. That's a yellow card. But let me ask you. Let me ask Tan. She seemed to be clowning on her Zuli. Why y'all is like cut the cow and drink the cow blood and shit like that? Why y'all is do that?
Well, let me give you a good example because we don't want to kill them. Do you want us to kill them and then drink their blood?
So you all is just drink the blood for what reason? Though? Like you all is like make a blood sweeter.
Firstly, the cows have too much blood, so we're just letting.
What?
Yes, you didn't know that.
Yo, yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah.
So you, so
African
you drink.
cows, they,
No,
they,
they
they have an excess of blood because they have such rich soils which produce such over nutritious grass that eventually the blood just has to be let out one way or another. So it's a form of relief.
Hold up, Tenzin. Are you being
that's
serious
why
right now, or just making that shit up?
no, that's why she like she's like vampires because she like to drink blood. What I'm asking is, what do you get from drinking the blood? I mean, do you get like what, like the iron or something?
Yeah, blood has a lot of nutrients. Blood is like it's
But that's
liquid
blood
meat.
from a cow. There's a lot of diseases that could be passed too.
No, those cows are clean.
How you
They
know
they
that? So that means you be drinking
because
blood too?
they eat natural grass. They don't put in given
Do you?
hormone treatment and
Did
and
you
you
drink?
know
Did
So
you
if I
drink
call
blood before?
so if I call you a bloodsucker, you wouldn't be offended.
no, because we don't actually suck it. We put it in a cup and we drink it.
Hey, yo.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's
Hold on.
Make
drunk.
that a
It's
clip.
not sucked.
Make that a clip.
How does blood taste? Don? Like how does it taste like iron or something?
Well, it's like liquid meat. Blood is just liquid meat.
Yeah,
Hey,
Europeans
yo.
eat rare anyway.
Yeah, that's just meat that's going through all your veins. Before it becomes meat, it actually has to go through, it's liquid process.
So
So some of
meat.
that comes out as waste, some of that, circulate the body as blood. So
Oh,
that's what it is.
Where did
do you,
that come from? Where did that tradition come from? That's a tradition that y'all got from the Europeans, or that's your own tradition?
No, it's a traditional thing that some cultures do. It's like milk. Milking a cow, you get the milk, part of the milk, because the cow produces too much milk. The same thing with the blood; it produces too much blood.
I think
So
you're making that up. How do you? No. I think you're making this shit up. You're not a vet. How you know the cow is making too much blood?
you can tell when a cow is
Tenzin,
starting to
y'all
walk
making
a
that
little
shit up.
bit
That you,
sluggishly. That's one effect of excess of blood. It's called hyper coagulation. So once you do that,
Tenzin, you're not a
initially,
vet. You're not a vet. How do you know when the cow is making too much blood?
so did the
like I
cow?
told you, its movements become sluggish, its eyes become reddened.
Nah, you're making that up. You're making that shit up.
So does the cow say I'm making too much blood? Suck my neck.
Suck my neck. They
Yeah.
actually offered it. Yeah, you see the blood just bulging and stuff. And then when you poke at it, it gushes out, and that tells you that yes, there was actually too much blood. And afterwards the cow feels much better. It's quite a relief. So
So
yeah,
would you?
that's
Did,
why they
hold on.
offer
Yo,
cows.
I'm gonna go look at this. I'm gonna research that. I don't believe you because you guys are
Mhm.
not
You've never
veterinarians.
seen it? You've never seen it?
No,
Do you
I've heard.
think before there was a vet, there was a cow? Which came first, the vet or the cow?
All right. And so Erzuli never saw the Africans who get peed on by was it the same cow? That they go behind the cow and let the cow pee on them and they shower, like kind of shower with it.
That's straight disgusting.
No,
I've
Yeah,
no.
seen
I
it.
don't know about this one, but I'm sure there's a good reason for it. But I don't know
I've
about
seen it.
that one.
I think it's in the
Maybe
same place.
maybe they
No, we
have
use
too much,
no. We use peanut
uric
butter.
fluid.
No, we
So
use
so why
peanut.
why is R. Kelly in prison then?
And he's not a cow.
No, we use pee. We use pee. If we get if we get stung by a jellyfish, we use pee to get the poison out. We, we don't drink pee though, but we use pee.
I don't understand. I don't. You drink the blood. This is just as weird as people eating. Because I think Caribbean people do blood pudding or whatever, what that shit is called.
Black
Yeah,
pepper.
yeah. Pudding and sauce. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
black.
it's kind of that should be the same thing. The difference is they cook it. You guys just eat it raw. You just eat, all the bad shit that we do. You
Well,
guys
it's
create.
like the difference between salad and cooked vegetables. It's the same thing, just how you take it.
No. There's a difference. One, the blood like that could have disease. When you cook the blood, you might be able to
But
kill the disease.
why you are just assuming that those cows have disease? If they're healthy cows running around, walking, having too much blood, why do you start?
Then
That's
stop saying that shit. They have too much blood. What? Who are you? What the?
No, but hold on. You gotta understand culture, because I was told once that some Africans think it is disgusting that you would that you would eat cheese, because if you think about it, cheese is spoiled milk, and they're like, well, why would you
That's true.
consume spoiled milk? But then the French take it to a whole new level, and the cheese has to stink and all this stuff.
And up the rock.
So different cultures see things differently.
But what I'm saying is, how do you know that a cow has too much blood? So how do you know if you're able to tell a cow has too much blood? Then next you're gonna tell me you could tell when a human being have too much blood. Let me come and suck your blood.
No, you can tell when a human being does not have enough blood. So the human being without enough blood looks at the cow with too much blood, and then they give each other, they balance the blood levels, the human animal blood.
Ten, you're making this shit up, man. You're making this shit up. Yo, Goku, you're not gonna say nothing. You're the biologist. You just gonna let her say that?
I'm just taking it all in, man.
Time.
So you just gonna let Tintin lie like that?
Time.
Yes.
Ox is really but mud cookies.
What is a mad cookie, Azuli?
Ox is really.
First of all, see, you be hitting. See now, I see that you're not really the Haitian friends like you claim you are. But mud cookie is something that they say Haitian people do. They use they go in the mud and they make cookie. They cook it and eat it
from the mud.
Yeah.
Do they mix it with some flour?
I don't know if they mix it with some flour, but they might. They cook the mud. They put what?
Sugar.
Are you being funny? Or is that real?
Okay. No, real talk. They'll scrounge together and put some sugar in it.
Pull it up, Goku, pull it up.
But wasn't that after the earthquake when things got really bad?
But the thing is, this is the funny thing. Y'all make fun of it, but if you eat what you call it, Mr. Untouchable?
Mud cookie. Pull it up, Goku.
Mud cookies are very nutrient dense.
There we go. There we go.
You think it's a joke? Mud cookies very nutrient dense. Everything that you grow, the plants out of,
cow's blood is nutrient dense too. Then
no, it's not, because you have a middleman between the cow is the middleman. So whatever you're getting at the blood is not as pure as you would get it from the dirt itself.
Mud? So are you telling me that dirt is cleaner than blood?
Let's check out this video here.
I don't want
to. Oh wow, it's a real thing. I thought he was kidding.
I don't
they
want
look a lot like pancakes or cookies. The recipe passed down from generations here in Haiti. Women spend entire days making them. Grandmothers, daughters, and younger girls. Infants are nursed while mothers work the mix. Kids seem to enjoy them, at least when our camera was around. But these patties, known as bonbon terres by the Haitians who eat them, are a grim reminder of just how poor this Caribbean nation is. They aren't sweet, they're hard to swallow, and add almost nothing in terms of nutrition, because the cookies are actually made of dirt.
It fills your stomach. When we haven't eaten anything, this dirt cookie fills your stomach.
Traded, sold, and even hoarded by women here in the poorest section of the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, Cité Soleil in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Small amounts of vegetable shortening, salt, and occasionally sugar are mixed in with the dirt and water as well. Made in places like this, an old fort where torture was once common by corrupt dictators here, Fort Dimanche is now a center of commerce built around the dirt cookies, a basketball court, soccer field, and school for hundreds of kids and home to many. To get to the basketball court, which acts as a preparation area for the dirt cookies, you have to cross this open sewer, which is littered with animal parts and trash and other nasty things, to get to an area where
Yo,
the
you
cookies
can
are
cut
laid
that.
out
That
to dry
that
out
means
in the
that's a
sun.
hit
You can
piece.
see that these are still very wet, not quite ready to be served, but this is literally dirt being prepared for humans to eat on top of other dirt and filth. Celine Denise.
He should eat it.
First of all, they should have punched him in the face because he has his foot on there. But whatever. But
Yeah,
do a
yeah,
research
it's
and
a
see.
hit piece. You're right.
But do a research how white people are selling dirt for people to eat dirt now as a good
No, no,
as a
no.
fucking.
No, y'all being offended by nothing. Think about it this way. No matter how
Uh,
poor those people were, they never considered eating one another. Europeans would eat one another in a heartbeat. Yeah. So
That's a fact.
despite the poverty, they never even sunk as low as to start eating one another.
That's a
Let a
fact.
plane crash.
That's
Let
a
a
fact.
plane crash, and these white people get too cold. They'll start eating all the dead bodies on the plane. So they can
but
talk
the
what they
dirt
want.
cookie, but they want to claim that it has no nutritional value. It's a lie because when you dirt have a lot of especially I don't know where they get the dirt from, but I've seen that they have new people like black white companies selling dirt to eat, to put in your coffee, to put in your water. It's called
Really?
mud. They call it coffee now. So what is this guy talking about? Those
Oh,
are
when I
hip.
was pregnant, I was craving dirt.
Really?
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
I knew he was Haitian.
Hey guys, God made dirt and dirt don't hurt.
Well, I had never heard that, but
I know human blood and is thicker than water.
never, I
Blood
never had,
also carry malaria, AIDS, and all of
And
that. So
blood is the essence of life.
I never had
no
a,
blood. Your own blood is your essence of
All
life.
the talk,
Now,
all them people look healthy. Y'all talking a whole bunch of nonsense. None of them people look sick. All of them look healthy.
Yes. So I
no,
don't know where you get your diseases from,
I,
Izuli. All those cows are clean, they're healthy, they eat
you're
wonderful,
not
clean
supposed to.
grass.
You're not supposed to eat drink another animal's blood.
But
That don't
you're
make no
supposed to
sense.
eat their flesh.
Who said? Who said
I
that?
don't eat. I'm vegan. I don't eat animals flesh, so I don't do that.
I
But
never had a hankering for some dirt Oreos before, but who knows? That might be good, some good eating. So, who knows? I never had a dirt cookie before. I might try it.
Trigger Happy 262 says black groups besides Haiti that eat dirt: Ghana, Black Brazilians, Jamaicans, Tiv, Mayombe, Kasai. He says this is just propaganda. I will say it's probably exacerbated because of poverty, but it's cultural.
Okay, but okay, we forget another eating that people do. You know, anybody know what scat eating?
What's that?
No.
Gay men eat one another's shit. Y'all never seen that? And they call
No,
it scat. You
no,
can
no,
Google
no,
that.
no,
It's
no,
called
no, no.
scat.
No.
no,
Oh,
no,
God,
no,
no.
no, no.
No.
You
Goku,
can look it up. You can literally look it
you
up. It's
can show
called
the
scat
show.
eating.
No, that's
Nobody is looking any of that stuff up. You should just give us a warning, like this is some shit, and
yeah,
then we just
that's the yellow card. That's the
But
yellow
that's the
card.
thing.
Yeah,
They
flag
do
on the
that
play.
and they have no problem with it.
That's
So
the yellow.
dirt and blood means nothing in the scope of this world.
I think that's a red flag. Give her a red
That's the
card
yellow
for that.
card.
Yeah,
Nah,
flag on the play.
nah,
Multiple infractions, a fine,
nah.
suspension.
Barbados, I can't co-sign.
15 yard penalty, suspended
Yeah,
for 5 days.
I know, I know you've been watching. I ain't not far yet.
No, the because the Ghanaian government, when they were trying to push homosexuality, were watching videos about it, and they were like, "Oh, they want to submit our men to this nonsense," and then the officials were watching these videos and saying, "No, we're not going to accept this." And then they that's how the first time I ever heard about the scat eating. So it was a documentary,
Oh God.
and they were like, "No, we're not going to let our men do this. Like this is what it leads
Wait,
to."
which man?
No, when the Europeans were trying, it was
Oh,
like a couple of
European.
years ago. Yeah, they were trying to bring it to the people in Ghana, I believe. And the officials were like looking over videos, like homosexual videos and what they were doing. And they were like, nah, this is disgusting behavior. We're not gonna because this is what it leads to, and they're like, you're not gonna accept this stuff. The
Oh,
Europeans weren't there when they were watching the videos. You know, when they brought the concept to them, then they started to look at videos, and they looked at it as a group of men, and you know, they were like disgusted by the whole thing, but they were like, nah, this is what homosexuality leads to, and we're not gonna accept it.
oh God.
Bobby E. Wright says something. Yeah, that's what they call it now when they want to sell it to black people. Dirt clay. They put a spin on it, but dirt is very nutrition dense. So
You still trying to sell this? You still trying to sell
I'm
this?
not trying to tell it. Do research. I'm not trying to sell nothing to you.
Come on, bro. We're
I'm not
not
trying
eating,
to.
bro.
I'm not trying to sell nothing to you.
What you want me to do? Eat a dirt cookie and wash it down with some bob and coat? No, my brother. We ain't drinking. Ain't no
Yo, the dirt cookie is probably more healthy to you than the meat that you eat. So
Oh, no, my brethren. I ain't eating no dirt cookie. You know.
okay, so you think it's better to kill the animal and eat it?
No, I eat lambi. I eat lambi.
No. First of all, don't eat none of that shit no more. Don't eat none of that shit. Eat your Bobby Bahame baby. What was it, Tenzin? Tenzin, how you put?
Bahamian.
No,
Bahamians.
Bahamian. Eat your
Y'all ain't
Bahamian.
shit.
Eat your Bahamian, Manian, whatever. Shit. Don't eat our lumpy no more.
Weezy
Y'all
lambi.
ain't shit.
My brethren. Weezy lambi. Coco Weezy lambi. Conk.
Yeah,
That's
conk,
conk.
conk.
Yeah, Weezy lambi. Yeah, lambi. Yeah.
Nah,
What is that?
Lambi conk.
conch.
Well, ain't no such thing as conch. It's conk.
It's conk.
No, they call it conch in America.
Who's they?
Yeah,
Who's
that's
they?
stupid.
Come on, man. It's conk.
That's stupid. Conk.
Yeah, it's lambi. Yeah.
No, stay away from lumpy. Eat that shit, the Bahamian stuff.
Let me tell you something. You freaking Haitians, I say sensation. It's enough Haitian cooking lambi in the Bahamas. By the way, I go to the Haitian restaurant to get my conch, my lambi. So stop it.
Nah, don't go. I'm gonna send in that tape. I'm gonna send in that tape that you be talking about. They eat dirt cookies, so they don't give you shit.
You eating frickin'? You ready to see the frickin' film where they eat dirt cookie? Ain't my fault you're eating dirt cookie.
What? There's nothing wrong with dirt cookie. I told you it's nutrient dense.
Well, let me ask you a question. When is the last time you eat a dirt cookie since you missed the nutrient? When is the last time you eat one?
I never ate a dirt cookie.
Shut up, because you're lying. You're lying.
I'm not lying. That's what. But you don't want to bringing it up, and then in the same breath you go, "My Haitian people are the best people." But you trying to make fun of us for eating that? You ain't shit. Shut up.
Oh, I love Haitians, but you
Go get your kerosene with your fake ring light. Wanted to make makeup tutoring videos. Shut up. Talk about it.
Hey, some of the Haitian women.
Boy, you catty.
They're one of the most beautiful women I ever seen. But I
stay away from my Haitian women. No.
Hey, the Haitian women in Miami, they beautiful, man. I gotta say that, man.
Nah, stop. They Bahamian women. They're muscular looking chicks.
Nah, I gotta say that. I gotta go Asian women.
Nah.
Hey, beautiful, man. I gotta say.
No. I thought Charlie Chisholm was from the Bahamas. You lucky.
Shirley Chisholm? That chick is from freaking somewhere in Barbados or something, man. They just wear mustaches and they.
That's real disrespect.
Oh my God. Y'all are so bad.
Don't ever do that shit again.
Shirley Chisholm got a freaking bad man. She from Barbados or something.
Yeah, man. Don't ever make that mistake again in life. What are you talking about?
Yo, I saw Charlie Cheese. I said, yo, she from the Bahamas?
Nah. The devil is a liar.
Nah, Shirley Chisholm got a sausage nose, man. She from Barbados or something. I don't know.
Yo, but I was having that conversation. Yo, but Shirley Chisholm is not attractive at all. Yo, I think she.
You know what though? What's the sister name? Who's from Barbados? The other sister who's a singer. She's a beautiful woman.
Rihanna.
Rihanna's a beautiful chick.
Rihanna look like a dolphin. Shut up. It's because she's light skinned. You say you talking about she's beautiful. Shut up.
Said she look like a dolphin?
She look like a dolphin.
Oh
my
like God. Y'all are so bad.
That forehead. She look like she got an NFL helmet on every day. Like, what are you talking about?
You will eat Rihanna shit. Stop it.
No, I would not. No, I would not.
Oh my God.
Rihanna got a huge forehead. I don't know what you're just saying that shit because she's light skinned. She's half white or whatever. Or she's
Say,
beautiful. Stop.
say she's halfway. You tell me, say you wouldn't smash Rihanna.
She's quarter
Okay.
white, not half quarter.
What you say?
She's not half white. She's quarter white.
What does that mean? She's quarter white.
Her dad is only half.
Oh, I don't know. She had white in the family.
You didn't know where you think that big forehead came from?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That ain't us.
No wonder like why she like them English white boys, and she dates a black man, and she having a job for a black man. I think I think her man is where he's from?
ASAP Rocky.
And he's from Barbados too.
Yeah, he got Barbadian background. Yeah.
Like
LL Cool J as well.
Yeah, that's two billionaires. They about to make their money. That's good. Shout out
First of
to
all, A$AP Rocky is not a billionaire. Stop that.
No. But he was smart enough. He's smart enough to see. This is what you call
That's
intelligent.
not pretend like A$AP Rocky making some good music.
Like, I don't understand what this guy is talking about.
He may not be making some good music, but
this guy always I think this guy, Mr. Untouchable, is an enabler or two billionaires. He's not a billionaire.
Yeah, but at least he know where to stick his penis, unlike some people I know.
Well, the men in Kenya stick their penis in the hole trying to get the earth pregnant. So I don't know.
Now them Kenyan dudes trying to suck blood out of. I don't know. They vampires, man.
It's deep and it's symbolic, and you all don't know what it's all about. So yeah.
I'll be trying
what's deep and symbolic?
Well, yeah, what's deep and symbolic?
You know, it's.
You mean you tell me they can't find a nice woman to put that thing in? They gotta stick it in the ground.
No, they can, and that's the precursor to it. That's the practice. You know, once, you get it out of the way. Yeah, so.
But the earth is rough. What?
Yeah, so guess what? If you can, if you can F the earth, you definitely can a woman. So,
Bullshit.
Again, the Europeans are here screwing dead people, children, and animals. So again, I mean, our deficiencies are not as bad.
No, I think that's a big deficiency, man. What kind of getting somebody get penis in the earth, man? I mean that's some serious.
My boy from the Bahama Mama gave me a joke. Right, you ready for it?
Yeah, let me hear this.
He said a man was going in the countryside. As he's going in the countryside, he look up, he see another man fucking a goat. So they make eye contact. So he see the man fucking the goat. They look at each other, and then the man trying to go back to town to tell what he saw. The man that was fucking the goat beat him to the town. They say, how you beat? He told the people he got on the goat he was fucking and ran past him, and went told the people he was fucking the goat.
What kind of freaking Asian joke is this, man?
It was a guy from the Bahamas who told me that.
That story so
Blame the
Bahamanians.
What kind of weird Haitian joke is this, man? What y'all be doing in the countryside?
Yeah, that story just worthless as hell. Let me tell you that shit. Don't lie again. Don't lie again.
Yo, the guy told me the joke. He was from the Bahamas. I said, what?
Don't lie again.
I said, that's what they be doing. He said, yeah, sometimes.
There's no ridiculous ass story like that.
This story makes no sense.
Yo, it makes sense. Immigrant. One of the guy was going to the country. He saw a guy having sex with the goat. So the guy who saw the guy having sex with the goat is going back to town to tell people he saw him having sex with the goat. But the guy who was having sex with the goat saw him, so he jumped on the goat and beat him downtown and tell the people he was fucking the goat.
Nah, that
sounds ain't no behavior putting that together.
Joke to me. That sounds like because the only thing they say about us, especially the Jamaicans, they say that we like to yam, you know what, because the Jamaican men don't like to go down on their women. So that's the thing that they have on us, But that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story.
That's disgusting.
No, see, they say the rest of the Caribbean don't like to eat fish.
What's disgusting? Doing it or not doing it?
The Caribbean, especially the Jamaicans, we don't.
I think it's only Jamaica that says that.
Only Jamaica.
Yeah, because all the other countries, I don't think I ever heard anything,
Oh,
against it.
oh, okay.
Except maybe among the Rastas, maybe.
Yeah, well, they're right. Okay, well, that's what they say. That's what they say. Well, that's the business. That's the business.
Hold on. Oh, yo, Mr. Untouchable, are you advertising here?
What?
What are
You
you
advertising
hearing?
here?
What are
What's
you
wrong with
hearing?
that?
West Sparrow say saltfish.
All right, you better be careful before your woman get up from the bed and slap you
No, no,
upside
no.
your head.
No, she's sleeping. She's sleeping.
Oh, she's sleeping.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. She's sleeping. She's sleeping.
This guy talking about saltfish. What?
My room, man. Yeah, man.
No.
All right.
All right, let me let y'all go to y'all.
Final words for tonight. Let's start with Tanzan. What are your final words tonight?
Wow. Are there words for a day like this? I have none. I have none. It's just been a hoot, and we had fun, and thank you all for a good time. So yeah.
Azuliism. What's your last?
Well, my final words is I'm gonna have some dirt cookies and some blood. That's the best protein a black man could have. So that's it. Oh, and let's not forget the saltfish. Yeah, that's good too.
Oh,
As usual, I had a great time. So, but Goku, you did this. I sent you like we could do Sankofa or I don't know Avatar, but I'm
Oh
guessing.
yeah, I heard you talking about Avatar. I think on Tanzan show, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah. We could do
Avatar.
Avatar.
Or we could do Sankofa. It's either or. I just have to rewatch both of them and stuff.
Yeah, we could do that.
Let me just
Yeah, so
say,
we'll talk.
yeah, shout out to everyone on the panel. Thank you for Coco for giving me the time to make me work off this rum so I wouldn't be vomiting the night later on tonight. Yes, this is fun. This is very fun. I had a good time, but I appreciate all the brothers and sisters.
Marcus Garvey is the way.
Yes, thank you for the invite, and yes, it was definitely entertaining. It was definitely enjoyable. Thank you. Take care.
Yes, I'll see you next week. I hope. See you next week, Ozuli. See you next week, Untouchable. And see you next week, Tanzan. Thanks for spending some late hours with us. I know you're on the road traveling, so I appreciate you coming through. Real Black Gentleman still here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm thankful to be here, and I really enjoy listening to everyone in their experiences. Like, I mean, I just want to say that what I'm saying, I was just I had to refresh and just look up what I'm saying, the populations in the Caribbean, and like Haiti is like number 2. It's like Haiti almost has as many people, and probably does have more people, and probably is the most populous nation. It very well may be. That gets overlooked. Like you could fit all the other, like a lot of like basically all the rest of the Caribbean besides the Dominican and Cuba in the population. Haiti is a powerhouse, and I think that the Haitian people deserve much more credit than they do. That's just one thing I want to say. But I love the conversation that you guys speak of, especially for the people that are in the islands. Like that perspective is it's enlightening. I mean, it opens up my mind, and I hope that the Most High graces you guys every day, and those people that you love and that you are around. Like, I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, that's it. Thank you. I'll see you guys next week. We'll do it again. I'm trying to figure out a way to come back during the week, at least once during the week. So look out for that. Again, look out for the clip show of all these Shoot the Breeze shows. I think that could be a useful tool in the future, right? Good night to Bobby Wright, Trigger Happy 262, and everyone else who's in the chat. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week, Saturday. Peace, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast with your host, Koku. If you like what you just heard, we hope you pass along our web address, bittermedicineblogs.com, to your friends and colleagues, and share our show to all your social media. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts. This has been a KWAZ radio production. Join us next time for another session of the Bitter Medicine Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at Bitter Medicine Show, Twitter, Bitter Meds, Tumblr, Bitter Meds, Instagram, Bitter Medicine.